I'm Jackie and we are enjoying life's journey on the path to financial freedom. If you are not familiar with the channel, I make videos on goal setting, personal finance, and a little bit about our minimalist lifestyle. So if you're interested in any of those, please make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I put up a new video. So today's video, I wanted to talk about how to stop living paycheck to paycheck and how to never be late on a bill again. So I would love to hear from you guys. Leave me a comment below. What is your definition of living paycheck to paycheck? So before we jump into my tips, I'm going to kind of give you my definition of what living paycheck to paycheck is, and then we'll jump in. So my idea of paycheck to paycheck means that you are either living at your means or maybe even above your means, where basically you have no extra cash flow every month to save or to pay down debt or to make purchases without borrowing money. So you're kind of in that state where you're just living paycheck to paycheck, meaning you don't have the extra money. All right, so that's kind of, so that's basically what it means to me, that, we're living at our means or above our means, we're just riding that hamster wheel, right? So my tip to stop living paycheck to paycheck, my first one, and I mentioned this in several other videos, is that you need to know where you're at and you need to get on a monthly written cash flow plan, or what Dave Ramsey calls a zero-based budget, where you're telling every single dollar where to go. So you want to take note, how much money do you have coming in, and then take note of everywhere that it's going out. And then from there, you can start seeing where are there expenses that need to be cut or cut out. How can you start getting ahead of the game? I recommend at the bare minimum at least budgeting out a quarter of the year at a time. So budget out 3 months at a time, so you can start getting ahead of some of those expenses that have kind of popped up on you in the past. You might have thought as an emergency, but you can start planning for them ahead of time. So it's going to kind of help you to get ahead of things before it comes up and then you need to borrow more money to pay for it. Also, get on a weekly budget so you can start budgeting things before it's due and it's too late. You need to know where you're at, so start tracking your spending. So another way you can start to get ahead or to never be late for a bill again is to do your budget in the way that you budget out every single paycheck. So for instance, if I have a bill that is due on the 28th of the month, I always try to make sure that it's coming out, or that I've paid for it and I have the money in my account at least 2 paychecks ahead. Now we get paid every single week, so it would basically be 2 weeks ahead. So if you get paid every other week, maybe you want to make sure it's coming from the paycheck before, roughly around when it's due. Now some people have mentioned that it's a good idea to have a full month's worth of your money, your income in your account, so you're ahead by a month. I don't really think that that's necessary, but at least 2 weeks ahead of time I think is sufficient enough once you get a handle on your spending. Like I said, you have to know where you're at, you need to have a plan. The last tip I have for you is to start automating your finances. So what do I mean by that? So if you're still paying bills by either writing a check or logging online and paying it when it's due, let's get out of that habit, and this is going to help you from never being late again, and actually set up, you can either set it up with the company that's taking the money. So for instance, I have mine set up with each individual company, but basically they'll either take your checking and routing number and they'll set up an auto withdrawal. So on your due date, they will automatically take out your bill for you. So you don't have to worry about being late. You don't have to worry about, oh shoot, did I log online and did I pay that? Or did I get that check in the mail soon enough? So it's automatically going to come out. So you can either do it where you go on directly to their site and you fill it out, or you can call them and have them do it. Some of them will take your debit card, some of them will do your actual bank account and routing number. But it's super easy to set up. I recommend, if you can, doing the bank and routing number, because then you never have to worry about your debit card expiring, because when you're you don't have to worry about the expiration date, because that's one thing. If you use your debit card and it expires, you need to make sure you update that card. But for the most part, automating it makes it extremely easy once it's set up. So it takes you a couple minutes, set it up, it comes out automatically on the due date, so you're never late. And it's gonna kind of help you to stay on top of it. So you know what, that bill's coming out on that day, so I better have the money in my account. And if you don't have the money in your account, then you're going to be stuck with overdraft fees and all of that. So that's why the budget, going back to the budget, that's why it's super important, or the cash flow plan, because then you're going to see ahead of time, and the money's going to be in there ahead of time, and then it's going to come out automatically. So even though things come out automatically, you still want to check your accounts at least once a week. Make sure things that were supposed to cleared, everything like that. Make sure you're keeping track of that. So those are kind of my 4 tips on how to stop living paycheck to paycheck and to never be late on a bill again. Basically, know where you're at, get on a written plan, cut out costs or non-necessities, try to lower some of your bills so you have extra cash flow. 3, make sure you're planning that you have the money in your account anywhere, at least 2 weeks before it's due. And then 4, automate those due dates so you don't have to worry about accidentally forgetting to make a payment and being late or something like that. So those are my 4 tips. I'd love to hear from you. Like I mentioned before, what is your definition of living paycheck to paycheck? And give us a couple tips on how to stop living paycheck to paycheck, or how to never be late on a bill again. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!